everybody to the holiday edition of the Operators Meetup. We are proud to have a fun-loving host with a phenomenal fashion sense, Mr. Ken Heising. How you doing, Ken?
I'm great, Kevin. How are you?
Good, good, good. And we have our stalwart, the guy who's a good pillar of our community, Mr. Adam Stewart. How are you doing, buddy?
Doing all right. I'm happy to be here.
We're happy
to be slower.
Oh, man.
What do you guys usually do when it gets slow? Do you use it for maintenance time, or what do you guys take advantage of?
I'm probably one of the messiest operators there is known, so I clean out my foil areas and give the press a real good deep cleaning and get all the dust off and kind of clean the room as best as I can. So, but a lot of organizing, throwing away butt rolls of foil, and kind of redo inventory and stuff like that. So,
a lot of people use that time to make samples that they would like to market. Do you ever do that?
No. I've pretty much got plenty of samples.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, we got a cabinet that we always throw our overs in this cabinet, and now we stopped throwing them in there because there's no more room in the cabinet.
Yeah, we had to organize them. We had to put them into like brochures and postcards. We kind of separated them out that way. That way, when a salesperson was going to go to a client and they were a certain type of client, they'd be able to find it, because I know I think I had 4 file cabinet drawers full of like complete chaos. So they were real happy when we finally got all that organized.
Yeah. Yeah. The we used to just have them in boxes, and we're like, guys, we got 6 boxes in the corner. We got to do something about this.
Yeah, it sort of leads in perfectly to something I wanted to talk about. I had kind of a funny Christmas story, because when we would get slow, often we would give plant tours if we could get people in the shop.
Oh.
And in my peer group, we had talked about sending out surveys after we had customers in to find out what we could do better. And I thought that was it opened us up for a lot of criticism, but it might be constructive criticism. And it turned out it was pretty good, because I had a competitor come in. And I didn't typically want to make time for them, but we started to realize that, nobody else can really do this type of work in our area. So let's have them in. We'll try to just corral them into the digital department. We'll show them the jet varnish. So I took them back that day and went thoroughly through it, and their mind was like completely blown. They had no idea that one of these machines was even existed on the West Coast, much less in their hometown. And when I sent out the survey afterwards, I thought one of the cool things I would share, this was right around Christmas time too. It was, what suggestions do you have that would make future visits to the company more meaningful and valuable? And they said more samples, or possibly talking to an operator to get their opinion of certain capabilities. And they didn't obviously know I was a manager and the operator, but so be it. It was a good criticism. And then I just sort of made me think about the people that we have on these calls normally, and how maybe the marketing department or the sales department gets involved in bringing in customers, but I don't think they realize how important it is to have an operator there. You are, with your little knowledgeable tidbits, are going to be add things to that conversation that no salesperson can. So they were blown away. We did get a couple of jobs from them. We did let one of our operators talk with them. And what turned out, this particular client had some control over 17 different locations throughout a couple of states. And they also started calling for some quotes and bids as well. So when things get slow around the holidays, I strongly suggest you consider this, because you think of your competitors as everybody's got a color box or everybody's got the ability to print. But when you have a jet varnish, you are truly unique. And maybe coming from the operator going to the marketing department and going, hey guys, have you really thought about the fact that I should be involved in this so that maybe I could bring us some more business into especially the jet varnish world. So I think
That's a good point.
Important to think about.
You know, Matt Red Bear does that all the time, right? Like Matt is now involved in client discussions on how to make it better, and he's like, "Well, I would do it this way, that way." And they just trust him because he's the one running the machine. So, what you're saying is true, and usually the operators technically. I don't know about you, Adam. Do you have like a design background? Are you kind of or does your operator have a design background, or not at all?
No, not as a design background. You know, all I do is whatever's in the JTVI. But yeah, we normally get files just submitted, but I don't know how to create. I couldn't even create a layer.
Yeah. Well,
in like InDesign or Adobe or anything like that.
Yeah, I think about 50% of the operators we know. I don't know, I mean, high or low, Ken, on all the ones you've talked to, about half of them have kind of a creative background. The other half are more coming from traditional operation of machinery. But I mean, that could be really helpful. Even if you don't have a design background, having somebody who knows how that's going to look just by looking at the files and being like, yeah, that's going to look terrible. You're not going to want to do it that way. If I were you, I'd do it this way. That's what I think people want to hear.
I think there's operators that can fiddle with the files, but I think that the majority of them come from production background, and you know that's where the team comes in, right? That's where maybe you walk them over to the pre-press or your design team and say, you know, I was talking to this customer, they like this kind of work. Could you guys maybe give them some ideas on how they could prepare their files? And you don't think of it. You think of it from the top down, management down, but I don't know. I think that the operators have got some pretty valuable insights into, you know, what works and what doesn't. You're going to be able to talk about the speed. You're going to be able to talk about the price in general. I mean, you kind of know what's going on back there. Production concerns afterwards, that's your department. Bindery, shipping, you have a better idea about that than anybody else in your shop. So I think the operators need to be involved. And, you know, this was obviously, I had no idea it was going to go in this direction when I got the feedback that I did. And this is a survey I can make generic and give it and share with the rest of you. But I think people really like to talk to the employees that are producing the products. I think we lend a certain excitement level to the products that we produce. You know, they're all individual. They're all a bit custom. They're all a bit unique. And I think those are kind of insights they can only pick up from an operator.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we do tours every now and then, and one recently, I don't remember exactly what it was, but they let's see, my computer just popped off here. There we go.
You're so good.
All of them. There was about 6 or 7 of them, and they all kind of took turns coming around and talking to me, and you know, asking questions, and it almost seemed like I was hogging the meeting because everybody wanted to talk to me. You know, and it was like, okay, we're done with that. Let's go in here now and look at the other stuff. I'm like, well, you should have started with the jet varnish room because you know it's the best looking stuff in the whole building. so now you should have started somewhere, you know, not the coolest stuff in the building, because people were like,
yeah, I agree. I kind of go, here's our cool printing hardware. And even though we're walking through, this is just mailing, right? And then right into the digital room, and finish strong with it, because that's about last thing they'll remember. So you're absolutely right, Adam.
Yeah. I mean, jet varnish is basically the last thing besides bindery. So I mean, you know, here's nice printing, but here's the special sauce right here at the end.
Did you do any really cool projects for the holidays?
Not really. I mean, I did. Remember last week, Matt talked about that lots of dots.
Yep.
And I did get. He must have sparked something, because I got a little job for it.
Excellent.
Just a little flower shop. You know, flower company. I mean, it's basic, but they were like, "Do you have any kind of glittery?" I'm like, "Actually, I do."
Ooh, did they have it in stock? Was that hard to find?
I had some.
Oh, you had some.
I had some from. I had a sample roll. I think it was from K Laser.
Yeah.
Or maybe Great Western. But I had enough to do the job, luckily.
Yeah.
Awesome. I know one year, another great Christmas story. We had a Christmas card that was the same Christmas card. It was for, I want to say it was over 100 locations. And typically when I do something like that, in order to make sure they don't get completely jumbled in bindery, is I wanted to always put like a little code in the corner, like 1 for property number 1 and 2 for property number 2. And because I know once the folder gets a hold of them, sometimes it can be a nightmare. And we had a really tough QC team. So I asked if I could do that. And they were, for some reason, they said no, 100% no. We don't want random numbers on the back of our cards, even if they're small. So the design had silver ornaments on a tree. And I had my pre-press people put a tiny number in one of the lower right-hand corner ornaments all the way up to 100. And then when the QC team got each pile of cards for each location, there was a property address on the inside of the card, but we couldn't open every card to look where they went. There was no way to confirm they got the right card in the right pile. So by putting that number on that ornament, they were able to like flip through that corner, look and make sure all number 1s were in a pile, and then that went off to that property. So sometimes a customer can make it very difficult for you, but you got to be sneaky and slip it in somewhere. And if you got a busy enough design, that's the way to do it.
Maybe put a little ghost varnish somewhere where you have to really know where it's at to see it.
I thought about that, just a little like number in the corner made out of varnish. They would see it as a dot, but I thought if I got to have my shipping people looking at them with a magnifying glass, that's probably not going to go over.
Yeah.
But in the past, we had done the same job, and we had a problem with. I mean, you talk about mad people. If they get the wrong cards in their pile to go out to customers, it's like the world stopped. They're offended. They're offended it's another property and not theirs. They're offended that it's the wrong ones they're going to send out. So it was a big deal one year. We had to make sure that didn't happen again.
Print is a very personal thing, right? I mean, that's a very tactile, touchable thing. So you definitely want to make sure you get it right. I understand. It's good. It's good people get mad at that, Ken. It's good that people get so, wound up against, their print going wrong, because it just means that they care. It means that, it elicits an emotion, which, as you guys know, emotion is a big part of what we're doing with the digital embellishment. So yeah, man, I get it.
Well, and it's also good with the glitter and the glare that you can hide things that people don't even know are there. I mean, that gets into a whole nother episode. We could talk about security, what we were able to do for security, putting things in, whether it be black light ink or foil that was almost invisible, an extra pass for some small bug in a corner.
No kidding.
All those special things that you can do too. But that's the great thing about a jet varnish, man. Creativity just never stops.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So, Adam, any issues that you want to talk about? Any ideas or how are you with the roller situation?
That's what I was going to touch on. I went back to shipping randomly, and there sits my brand new orange roller. So I guess they're either they pulled some strings or the topic with the technician or something. Maybe he got involved. Or
Marco gave a call.
But yeah,
it's a Christmas miracle, man. Call it what it is. It's a Christmas miracle.
And luckily, I told you I don't have anything to do right now, so they're coming in tomorrow morning to do roller in, and I'm pretty excited about it.
Wow.
Oh man, please keep track of how it's done and what tips you can give us, because There's a lot of people that would love that information.
Yeah, I watched or actually helped the technician with the first one, and I'm gonna watch him again because there's a couple of different parts where you're just like, God, if I screw this up, I would never get that back together.
Film it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I
man.
didn't even think of that.
Like, dude, I gotta know how to do this.
Let me get my tripod and set it up because it's definitely a 2-person job.
Oh, is it?
I mean, there's one part that's a 2-person job, but a lot of it you can do with probably 1 person. But you can grab a buddy in the shop to help you lift it up out of there. So,
oh yeah,
things are heavy.
Askew, it kind of locks in.
I'd be real curious with that new rubber, if your temperatures change, if your pressure changes, you're going to have a pretty good
Everything's going to change. I'm going to have to learn everything all over again.
See how low you can go with it, though. I think that's high. Yeah, it allows you to go lower, right, in temperature. So
I would hope, that would be the best thing.
Yeah.
Lower temperature, so much better.
Yeah.
Well,
because Kerr's goes pretty low temps, but I couldn't never go too low when a lot of people's just won't release.
Yeah.
130 was kind of the sweet spot to get a good release.
Yeah. Or you get the opposite; it releases everywhere. And that's it gives you that thing. That's tough to fight. Sure.
Any plans for the holidays? What are you going to do for Christmas or the New Year?
Just having family come over. So we're getting our house ready and doing all that, which it gets hectic. I got quite there'll probably be 10 people there. So,
oof. How about you, Ken?
I mean, I'm looking forward to Christmas. Obviously, we'll have all the family visits with the many grandchildren, but I'm really, really looking forward to my 20th anniversary in Vegas that we leave for on the 31st. So I am I'm double excited this year. I'm really looking forward to it. The timing of it couldn't be better, and I'm just looking forward to getting out of town.
Yeah, they got that's where the Sphere is, isn't it? The new Sphere.
I expect the Sphere should be interesting for Christmas and at least the New Year. Maybe it'll be something firework related. I know we're not going to stay. Yeah. We're not going to stay on the Strip for New Year's. So that's a nightmare. Not going to fight it.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, I hear it's spectacular, but if you look at the average room rate, they're sort of pushing around $600 for the 31st.
Ooh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm going up there for the CES show the week after you.
Right on. Well, you got something to look forward to then.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to that. You just reminded me of the Sphere, Adam. That's definitely worth looking to see if there's any concerts while I'm up there.
Well, I hope they just move away from YouTube. Get somebody interesting. That would be great.
Yeah, I love it. Good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All righty. Well, listen, I think we can.
Yeah, not only concerts, but I think there's going to be something to go to.
I hope so. What do they have at the Sphere? The concerts and just like they don't have like shows, do they?
I think they do have a generic light show of some kind.
Like inside?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, don't take that to the bank, but I'm pretty sure that they found a way to build revenue between rock concerts. And I know Dana White's talking about the UFC having a stellar event in September next year and creating a one-of-a-kind experience for mixed martial arts. So
no kidding.
He's the kind of guy that would spend the money to do it, so it should be fun.
Wow. What a unique venue for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks for joining us, Adam. I always look forward to hearing from you.
You got it.
All right.
Well, if I don't see you, we'll see you next year.
See you next year, Adam. Ken, thanks for hosting an awesome session, and hopefully next time we'll get more people to come out and have a good discussion on the operation of the jet varnishes. But thanks again for everything that you've done, and a great year of hosting the operator meetups. We've really been happy and proud to team up with you on these things, and I think you're really bringing a lot of good information to a lot of people, and really creating the first forum where people can openly discuss how to get better on their machine. So thanks again, Ken, for everything that you do for the JETforce. And Adam, same to you. Thanks for really being a pillar of the community and help push this thing forward. Hopefully we have many new good things to look forward to in 2024.
Thanks, Kevin.
Bye, everybody.